Hey my friends, welcome back to Valhiem once again. After that last video where I showed you guys how to create your own infinite breeder, well, it got a lot of attention, I'll put it that way. I think it's the video with the most views of anything I've put out. It even outperformed my short, which is kind of surprising to me. So thank you for all the attention. So today, since so many people are now probably building their own critter breeders, I figured it was probably time to show you guys how to fuel them. And I have around 1,154 seeds on me. I think that's the exact number, actually. But keeping all those creatures fed can be a real pain, especially if you hate farming like I used to. It can be very tedious trying to get your crops placed down with decent spacing. But today I'm going to show you how to deal with that issue. And it's actually remarkably easy, and I was kicking myself once I figured it out. But what you're going to want is you're going to a set of decent stamina food. I've actually got some jerky still cranking, I'll have to get rid of that. But onion soup, and if you think that onions are going to be a problem, they won't be. A little bit of carrot soup. You have to forage the mushrooms for that, so I don't know if that's worth it for you guys early on. And a onion. Just give us a good chunk of stamina. And since we're going to get plenty of them, I don't feel bad eating some. You can get onions relatively early on. Just run through the snow biome naked and pop open a chest and then run away. You only really need one onion seed to get going. So let me clear out my food. There we go, that'll do me. I always find that incredibly hilarious. Alright, there we go, we're all fresh now. So I'm just going to pop those to crank my stamina up. And I do recommend that you upgrade your cultivators for this. It's going to make your life a lot harder if you try and do this with a crappy cultivator. Let's actually get rid of this. There we go. So, the easiest way that I have found to get ourselves planting going, and this is our dedicated onion field. Zoom, put your cultivator away. Zoom all the way in on your character, facing the direction you want to plant in. Toggle walk, whatever you have your walk set to, I think it defaults to C. You want that on. Then you just hold forward and spam click. Because each crop requires cultivated soil, the crop that you last planted will prevent you from planting a crop. And that'll give you not a perfectly straight row, doesn't really matter too much, but that'll give you a line of crops. And you can just walk back, continuing to spam click. Now I find looking down at about a 45-degree angle is pretty close to good. Let's see. Don't have an open space yet. I'll do one more row for now. And that one's gonna die. And that's okay. When you're doing it like this and you're doing literally 1,000 crops at a time, you can afford to lose a couple to misplants. And in my experience, what you're really looking for is you want a spacing about like this. If you can fit a panel, what's this one called again? 1x1 wood floor panel in between your crops, your spacing should be fine. Your crops shouldn't die on you. This one's gonna die because I accidentally planted one too close, but that's fine. The rest are looking good. Now I'm gonna continue planting up this field, and I will rejoin with you once everything's in the ground. And again, you're gonna want to upgrade your cultivators, probably build several if you're gonna be doing mass farming like this. And they're very cheap to upgrade. It starts at 1 copper, 1 core wood, or excuse me, 1 bronze, 1 core wood, and only goes up 1 each time. So, we will reconvene once I've got my fields planted. Set onion. Toggle up. Alright, there's this portion of field all planted up. I do suggest that you go as high a stamina food as you can while you're doing this, because you're going to burn through stamina relatively quickly. But the other big thing with this process is making sure that you stop at the end of each row to give your stamina a small chance to recover. If you try and go too fast, you're just going to burn up your stamina, and then you're going to have misplants. Onto the lower portion of the onion field. So, if you have problems where you're getting them too close, I think I just came too close to this line rather than them being too close this way. But a lot of times you might get your angle too steep, in which case you'll start planting too close. So, if that happens, just aim a little further out from your body. You don't want to be at too steep of a downward angle with your camera. Back to it. How am I doing? 16 seeds left. Huh, I crammed more seeds in here than I normally do. And there we go. That is 354 onion seeds. Still have daylight. Let's move on to the others, shall we? Still got this whole field to go. So, part of the reason I suggest actually upgrading your cultivators is when they break, you will punch your last planted seed. And that's just, it happens, especially if you're not paying attention. This is really easy. Excuse me. I seem to be getting a cold. This is really easy to just zone out while you're going. I'm starting to lose daylight though. If you have one of these, that's not too big of a deal. You can keep going even at night. I probably won't go too long. And as you can see, I've gotten right around half of my seeds, even with me stopping to babble, planted. Probably finish off this row and then go to bed. Breeders probably need cleaned out. I'm getting a little bit of lag. Alright, weather permitting, we'll pick right back up where we left off. Let's go clean out those critter breeders, get rid of some of this lag. Yep, that's too many pigs. I do actually suggest using your favorite weapon for clearing out your critter breeder, as you get skill in whatever weapon you're using. So it's good to use your preferred weapon. I'm not going to worry about picking up all the meat, it's not going to despawn anyway. Just clearing out some lag. So many pork. I've got a couple of wolves hanging out in here just to help protect the pigs when random things spawn. Because that does happen. Although when it's overloaded like that, the pigs really don't have too much trouble killing anything. They'll just swarm and mosh it. I'm gonna get rid of this for a moment. There we go. Got my frames back. Wolves are doing okay. Been taking them out periodically to protect the town. We had just about taken on the final boss. This is a file between me and a couple of friends. A few friends. I'm just gonna throw this stuff into the cart pickup box for now. Come by with the cart and pick it up later. Alright. Let's get these fields planted. Here, my white wolf. Thank you. Yeah, they're looking good. So you're not going to get perfectly even rows that look really nice. If that is something that you're looking for, if you're looking for perfectly pristine fields, Listless Onion actually has a really good video on it, and I will link that in the description. He is partly responsible for inspiring this video, because he titled his How to Plant Your Crops Without Them Dying. His method will guarantee that all of your crops will survive. My only objection is that it's a little bit slow. I don't have the patience for that. So go check him out, give him some love. Okay. And the reason that you don't run in plant, you could. Theoretically, you could. But for one thing, I'm pretty sure your spacing is going to be wider, and you are absolutely going to ruin your stamina. Now, if you have a big stamina bar like I do, it's maybe not such a big deal. The reason you want to be all the way zoomed in like this is because it allows you to keep an eye on how close to the row next to you you are. So there's 2 rows. Yeah, they're the same spacing. But you really can't do that if you don't have extremely high stamina foods. If I wanted to do that consistently, I would use bread. We'll do one more like that, why not? It's a good demonstration on how it tears up your stamina. It's also harder to control. But yeah, you can do it this way if you want. Your rows are going to get uglier, but that is a personal decision up to you guys. Yeah. I prefer to go a little slower. That's going to die. Here we go. The cloud puffs when you're planting carrots can make it kind of hard to see where you planted your last carrot. But as long as you keep an eye and guide off of the row, in this case on my right, you'll be fine. It's not too hard to keep track of what you got going on. See there? I ran out of stamina, and now I've got to misplace. I can go back and fill it in, but that is why I suggest against running and doing this. Now, too close. Now you could use stamina meads to increase your stamina and get this done a little bit faster, but I just don't see a point in that. It feels like a waste of resources to me. Go a little bit slower, plant your seeds a little bit further apart, and your stamina will hold out just fine. If you're wanting to do this and you don't have the onions yet, you can always make a really quick run through the plains biome and grab yourself some cloudberries. It gives the same amount of stamina. Seeds left. This cultivator's getting low. Should be alright. There we go. Thousand seeds in 2 days, and I still have daylight left. Let's pick up some of the drops from the wolves. I've been killing stuff. Onions already starting to come up. That's alright, I crammed more in than I normally do. Grab a little bit of wood. And that about does it. I'm just gonna get the bonfire on top of the lighthouse relit. And that's about it for today. Thank you guys for coming along for this wild ride. Planting seeds, most exciting thing ever, right? At least hopefully now it's a little bit better. Catch you later.